All right, everybody. This is case study number 2. My name is Matt Schmidt, and thank you for joining me for this video. So I want to go over real quick just kind of a very different campaign from what we saw in case study number 1, and that's for a lot of reasons. The interests are going to be much different, and it's going to be really an example of that 5% that I talked about in the targeting video that really don't apply to the method, and you have to be aware of that when you're stepping through the Audience Insight tool. So in this video, I'm not going to focus so much on the ads report as much as I am on the Audience Insight, making sure that it's clearly outlined to you why I did what I did for this one. So you can see that the campaign was 350 sold. I ran this campaign several times, ended up doing about 18 grand in revenue in this. And this was really when I started to try to really test out this method of running a shirt for an extended period of time. And that's the second point here, is where this was really the shirt that took me to that method. And I applied that to the nurse prayer in case study number 1, but I had obviously pushed that shirt to its limits on the first campaign at least. So let's go ahead and step into the Audience Insight tool. Now what I wanted to show you, let me step back to demographics real quick, is my methodology here again. And we plugged in 25 and above. We got men and women selected right now with our interest of Luke Bryan. Luke Bryan is not only affiliated with this shirt, but he's also a super large interest to go after on Facebook. You can see he's got 5 million to 6 million monthly active people. And he's one of the biggest country singers right now, if not the biggest. And so this is where I wanted to go after. The first thing I noticed right away is the 77% women, right? So my shirt is obviously geared, the main item is a woman's shirt, and the shirt is geared towards women. So let's go back over here, and let's figure out what that means for us. So we're going to go ahead and switch this to women, because that's what we're going after. And the page likes tab is where we want to go next. So let's step down and check out what our page likes look like. So you can see this is exactly what we were talking about in the video, where we're talking about if the associated page likes to our interest do not really, yes, they are correlated, but they're not directly correlated to our main interest. This is where we want to go back to our original interest and use that in our targeting. And let's take a look at the top 5 here. You can see that Blake Shelton, Jason Aldean, Miranda Lambert, and Lady Antebellum. These are all huge country singers. I would not target Blake Shelton for a Luke Bryan shirt. You might get a good result. But there are so many people here that are associated in one way or another with Luke Bryan, either it's directly or likes by association, that your chances for a better campaign are in place when using this interest. You might be able to bring it over here and get somewhat of a good result, but I don't think it's ever going to be a scalable result for you. These interests are associated, yes, but not directly associated like we want, like we saw in the nursing niche or other interests, or the firefighter niche, or any of the other niches that we were going after using the method that I teach you in the targeting video. These are a clear sign to me, these pages are a clear sign to me to use Luke Bryan as my target. So coming over here to the ad, this is one of the campaigns that I had running. I really split out the demographic. This is also a key indicator of a difference between the last two. In the ad video, I usually told you, I told you to usually go 25 to 34, 35 to 44, just as they split their video here, or their audience here. And the reason for that is that it gives you good sets of data and generally a decent sized audience to go after. This is such a large interest that I decided to break it down even more and really find the ones that were converting and ones that weren't. And that's why I split this one out. and this is a desktop. I had a mobile. Yeah, this is a mobile. I'm sorry. I had a desktop, and I had no men on this campaign either. And so I was able to sell 350 shirts on the initial campaign, and you can see here that I ended up selling, a couple hundred here, a couple hundred here, a couple hundred here, and raking in about 18,000 in revenue, and pretty much get myself 2 for 1 on my money. And this is stuff that is easy to implement as long as you understand the targeting by looking at the Audience Insight tool, understanding the associations, and breaking down your ad sets for you to really focus in on the winners, using the reports like I showed you, and killing off the ads that aren't giving you results. So that's it. That's case study number 2. I hope that makes sense, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.